Gonna see. We gonna see. He too little. He ain't fighting no. He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, what you just heard was the voice of undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO, World Boxing Organization welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be number one pound for pound best fighter in the world in Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is 39 wins, no losses, no draw, 30 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. He's heading into the biggest fight of his career. July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, as he's going to take on undefeated 3-belt unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Earl the Truth Spence Jr., who is widely considered by many to be top 2, if not number 1, definitely top 5 pound for pound best fighters in the world. He holds the WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world championship titles. With that said, again, I can't reiterate this enough. This is the biggest fight in boxing in the last 40 years, in my opinion. The most anticipated fight since 2015 when Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao. With that said, I wanted to give you an update. Terence Crawford, he held his media workout today, and he discussed and responded to undefeated 5-time 3-division world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, who is a 3-division champion, 130, 135, and 140. And Gervonta Tank Davis, who is a southpaw, Gervonta Tank Davis is a superstar. Gervonta Tank Davis is a close friend of Errol Spence, and he stated that Terence Crawford has a glass shield and Errol Spence has a iron shield, a metal shield. And so Errol Spence will break Terence Crawford's shield. So Terence Crawford, he responded, as you heard in the beginning, and Gervonta Tank Davis stated that he wanted to go up to welterweight and he would knock out Terence Crawford. He wanted to fight Terence Crawford. He would knock him out. So Terence Crawford responded by saying he's simply too little and he would never fight a real, legit welterweight. Now, I want to give a breakdown because as you see Terence Crawford training here, Terence Crawford is using the southpaw stance. It's ironic because Gervonta Tank Davis is a southpaw, Errol Spence is a southpaw, and Terence Crawford these days predominantly fights in the southpaw stance. But he has the ability to fight in the Orthodox stance. And today, we saw Terence Crawford also training in the Orthodox stance. As you see him hitting the heavy bag, he's in the Orthodox stance right now, okay? And I want to give a breakdown of how Terence Crawford can actually beat Errol Spence and possibly knock Errol Spence out. Terence Crawford has only went the distance 3 times since becoming a world champion back in 2014. Terence Crawford went the distance with Ricky Burns. Terence Crawford went the distance with Beltran. And Terence Crawford went the distance with Victor Postol. But even Victor Postol, he dropped him twice and dominated that fight. The key for Terence Crawford to be victorious against Errol Spence is in the Orthodox stance, is continuously throwing hooks, right hooks to Errol Spence's body, pivoting out to his left, Errol Spence's right, and ducking underneath Errol Spence's right hook, slipping underneath Errol Spence's right hook. Continue to pivot that way. That's what Sean Porter did, and at times it confused Errol Spence. It left Errol Spence in the high guard and rendered him inactive. Errol Spence has an extremely, extremely high work rate. He breaks you down physically and mentally. Errol Spence is fundamentally sound. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but the little mistakes he does make from an Orthodox stance, you can exploit those. Terence Crawford, he has power, uncanny power in both hands. Terence Crawford has extremely long arms, 2-inch arm reach advantage over Errol Spence, who has a 72-inch arms. Errol Spence is 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. Terence Crawford is 1.5 inches shorter, but he has 2 inches longer arms. Terence Crawford slips out to his right, as you see here. He's pivoting to his left, slips out to his left, which is Errol Spence's right. Most southpaws don't have a good right hand. They look uncomfortable when they throw in their right hand, and it looks unorthodox. Terence Crawford is very comfortable in the orthodox stance. Now, what I will say is, when Terence Crawford was in the orthodox stance and when he was boxing Kell Brook, as you see him in the orthodox stance here, when he was boxing Kell Brook in the orthodox stance, Kell Brook's jab was giving him tons and tons of problems. Errol Spence has an extremely, extremely good jab. So I suggest that Terence Crawford in the orthodox stance keeps his distance, stay poised, because Terence Crawford, he likes to fight. He likes to get in brawls. He likes to mix it up. He likes to prove a point and put an exclamation point at the end of the fight, as hence the reason why he's only going the distance in almost 10 years, only 3 times. So with that said, if Terence Crawford throws the right hook and straight right hand to the body, slipping out to his left, Errol Spence's right, underneath, the key is when he slips out, he has to stay disciplined, keep his head off the line, because Errol Spence, unlike most southpaws, he has a fundamentally good right hand, an accurate right hand on top of that. But if Terence Crawford slips underneath it, Errol Spence will eventually make the adjustment and throw the right hook to the body, planning for Errol Spence, planning for Terence Crawford to look to slip underneath and out to his left, which would be Errol Spence's right. Errol Spence would make the adjustment, throw the right hand in the mid area. So when Terence Crawford ducks down, he would connect on Terence Crawford. So sometimes Terence Crawford has to use the jab and hook off the jab while slipping out to his left to keep Errol Spence occupied, to allow him to cleanly escape without being a target. These are the keys that Terence Crawford is going to need to be victorious. Using his jab and his feints, straight right hand to the body, right hooks to the body, slipping out to his left consistently, and changing up the TV. Change the channel on the TV when slipping to your left. Sometimes you slip underneath the right hook. Don't try to always predict what Errol Spence is going to do, because you may predict wrong. But slip underneath, use the jab to slip out, double the jab up to slip out to your left to keep Errol Spence occupied and make him reset. This is what Shawn Porter was doing in close quarters. Terence Crawford is not as compact and doesn't get his punches off on the inside as tight as Shawn Porter. He's more rangy. He's more of a mid-range fighter. So I suggest he double up on the jab, triple up on the jab, right hooks and straight right hands to the body. Also, every now and then, mix it up. Make it look like you're going to throw a right hook to the body and come up top with a right uppercut, splitting Errol Spence high guard that he tends to go to as well. So there's many ways for Terence Crawford to be victorious, but I wanted to give you a breakdown of how Terence Crawford can be successful from the orthodox stance. More importantly, he has to be able to be elusive to Errol Spence's jab, because Kell Brook's jab was finding a home all too often. Now, Kell Brook is an orthodox fighter who's just as big as Errol Spence and fundamentally sound as well. Terence Crawford made an adjustment. He switched to southpaw, and then he knocked out Kell Brook. But Errol Spence is not Kell Brook, and switching to southpaw is only going to eliminate both of their advantages, seeing as though Errol Spence is a natural southpaw. But Errol Spence's physicality in that point, I believe, will start to take a toll. So we have to see. This is as interesting as it gets, these two fights, these two fighters. So that's just a quick breakdown of what I thought, how Terence Crawford can beat Errol Spence from the Orthodox stance and possibly even knock him out, but definitely win the decision. Keep Errol Spence occupied, stay disciplined, fight on the outside, and keep changing the channel, meaning keep giving them different looks. So let's see how this plays out and unfolds July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena. And as for Gervonta Tank Davis, well, I told you guys, he's simply too small. His arms are too short. And Terence Crawford has a great ability to box. Terrible matchup for Tank Davis. And that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. That's all I got for y'all, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
This is Amanda, the real deal Serrano, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.